Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so excited to be filming again for y'all this week. Thank you, by the way, for the amazing feedback that you gave us from our last workout video. I promise there are more to come. A lot of y'all asked about nutrition videos and food videos, and honestly, at first we were thinking about doing like one big video, but there's so much to talk about that I think we're gonna actually do a series. So stay tuned for that. Thank you for the feedback. This is totally different than a workout video. We're talking about fragrance today, which is a huge love of mine if you don't know. And this is actually gonna be a sampling video. I love watching these. I love watching people sample perfumes, give their thoughts on it, and then try to determine which one they might actually buy a full size of. So that's what we're gonna do today. I was very lucky to have Twisted Lily reach out to me and ask if they could send me some samples and offer me a coupon code to offer to you. And of course I said yes. I have purchased from Twisted Lily many times in the past. In fact, at the end of the video, I'm gonna go over all of the full size perfumes that I have that are available at Twisted Lily, and I got 3 of them there. So be sure and stay tuned for that portion of the video. If you aren't aware, Twisted Lily is an online fragrance retailer. They specialize in niche fragrance houses. They have over 30 brands. They have many options within each brand. And one of my favorite parts about Twisted Lily is that you can purchase samples of almost every single perfume they have. But it's not decants. It's like the actual samples from the brand that come in the nice little cardboard envelope type things. They're always, all the ones I've gotten have always been in a spray atomizer, which I feel like you can get a much better feel of a perfume using a spray atomizer than a dabber. So I really appreciate that. And it's just a great way to see if you really want to spend the amount of money that niche perfumes can be, because they're not cheap. They are an investment, but if you are a lover of fragrance, so many of them are worth it. So when they first reached out to me and asked me about the samples and I had said yes, they asked me what my favorite type of scent was. And I do feel like I was a little all over the place when I told them what I liked, but I did say I like sweet perfumes because I do. I am a gourmand lover. I also like warm perfumes. I'm not big on rose or lavender, but I love tuberose and ylang ylang and frangipani. I just kind of was all over the place. And when I tell you they picked the perfect scents based on that all over the place description, I mean it. They did such a good job. They sent over 7 samples, so we're gonna go through those right now. I am going to put up the notes on the screen. I had someone comment saying you absolutely cannot describe a perfume by saying what the notes are. I kind of feel like you can. Personally, I like to put the notes up so you can see what the actual perfume company claims to have as the notes, and then I will tell you what I smell out of it. So without further ado, let's get to sampling. The first sample they sent over is from Memo Paris, and it is Lalibela. I have tried a few Memo Paris samples. In fact, I have purchased quite a few from Twisted Lily. And I will say that out of all of them, this is my favorite one. There's some that I just feel like you have to have a very specific nose for. This one I do like. It is a little bit tart on the opening. It does have coconut, rose, peony, and orchid on the opening. And in the middle, it has vanilla, patchouli, jasmine, and labdanum. And I can smell the patchouli on the opening. It's not overly strong. I definitely have fragrances in my collection where the patchouli is way stronger, but I can smell it right on the get-go. I can also smell a little bit of that coconut. And then on the dry down, it's incense, tobacco leaf, and precious woods. This is one where I feel like I appreciate it more as it dries down. I'm not the biggest fan of the direct opening, but as it dries down, it becomes smoother, it becomes more mellow, it becomes more of a Mandy scent. I do like it. Out of the samples, it's not my favorite, but out of Memo Paris, I do think that it is. So far, I haven't obviously smelled every single Memo Paris, but this one is. The longevity was okay on me. I've worn it a couple times and I will say I got maybe 3 hours out of it, which I am someone who really loves a perfume that stays. I want to I wear perfume for myself. I want to smell it on myself all throughout the day. And after a few hours, I just could not smell this. It became a skin scent fairly quickly on me, but I know there are people where that kind of scent is very attractive. So if you like, I've heard people say this is like a beachy scent. I don't think it's a beachy scent. I think it's a smooth coconut patchouli scent. That is what I get out of it. And I do get a little bit of that tobacco on the dry down. So that's Lalibela from Memo Paris. The next one I'm going to try out is from Montale, and this is called Daydreams. And this is actually a Montale fragrance I have not tried. I have quite a few samples from this house. It is a sister house to Mancera, which, if you don't know, is one of my favorite perfume houses. So I have quite a bit of samples, but I have not smelled this one. I believe they chose this one because of the tiare flower. On the top, it has orange blossom, mandarin orange, tiare flower, jasmine, neroli, vanilla, sandalwood, and coconut. This, in true Montale fashion, has a very sharp opening. I do not dislike Montale fragrances. However, they do all, to me, have a little bit of a synthetic note to them, more so than the Manceras, for sure, in my opinion. So I definitely get a very sharp opening. I get the mandarin orange more than I get the orange blossom. So it's a sharp citrus opening to me. But I love the tiare flower in this. I love the dry down with the coconut. Is it my favorite? No, because I'm just not someone who really gravitates to Montale as a house. And also, I never really had good luck with the lasting power of Montale. But this is definitely a summer fragrance to me. This is something that you're going to wear in the summer. It's going to play really well in the heat. It's got that coconut note on the dry down mixed with that vanilla. So even though it doesn't have like a saltiness to it, I wouldn't necessarily call it a beachy fragrance. It is definitely a summer fragrance. The next one is from Carner, Barcelona, which one of the full-size perfumes that I'm going to show you at the end is also from Carner, Barcelona, and I actually have a discovery set from them. I'm not quite sure if Twisted Lily sells it, but they do sell mini discovery sets, which is another great way to find a favorite fragrance within a line. But this one I had not tried. This one's called Latin Lover. This is more of a floral fragrance. It's got magnolia, ylang ylang, and bergamot on the opening. And I'm assuming that because it has ylang ylang on the opening, that's why they sent it. Because I did mention that I love that note in perfumes. It's got jasmine sambac, lily of the valley, violet, and French narcissus in the middle, white musk, benzoin, and Indonesian patchouli leaf on the dry down. I really like this one. I really like this one. In fact, I don't know that there's a Carner Barcelona scent that I have tried that I don't like. The one I'm going to talk about in the full size is one of my favorite scents of all time. This is really nice. It is floral though. You need to like a floral scent to be able to wear this. I actually feel like this could be a year-round scent. It's going to flourish the best, I feel like, in spring and summer, but it's not too spring or summery to be able to pull off in the fall or winter either. And I appreciate a good year-round perfume. I'm also not someone who wouldn't wear a coconut fragrance in December. I just wear what I want to wear, but I know that some tend to work better with certain weathers, and I just feel like this one would be great year-round. I do get a strong jasmine, and I do smell the lily of the valley. I do feel like that's very prominent in this. I don't get a ton of patchouli, even on the dry down. Even though it's on the dry down in a note, I don't get a ton. So if you're not a patchouli lover, I wouldn't be scared of this fragrance if you like the other notes, especially if you are a floral person. I feel like out of all of these, this is the most floral, but it's also beautiful. Like, I really like this one. I'm going to put this over to the right because that's going to be a contender to figure out which one I want to get the full size of. This next one is actually the first time I have smelled a scent from this house, which is crazy because it's talked about a lot. It's Juliette Has a Gun, and it's the literally MMMM. I mean, that's the name of the perfume. This one is Audrey Tate's absolute favorite. She smelled all of these, as she does whenever I get perfumes in, and she immediately picked this one as a favorite, and I can see why. This is the sweetest out of all of them, which as a gourmand and sweet lover, I can appreciate. On the top, it has raspberry, geranium, and neroli. I smell the raspberry, but it's not a super tart raspberry, but it's also not too sugary of a raspberry. To me, it's just a beautiful raspberry. And then you get in the middle. I mean, truly looking at this list of notes, I would think this is the absolute perfect Mandy perfume. And it truly is, barring one point, but I'll get to that because the middle notes have tuberose, iris, orange blossom, and jasmine sambac. Tuberose and iris are two of my favorite notes. And then the base, they have vanilla, caramel, heliotrope, which I also love, sandalwood, white musk, and patchouli. This is amazing. It truly is my favorite one out of the bunch. The issue is Juliette Has a Gun, as a house, is known for skin scents. Meaning, I mean, you're gonna get like 30 minutes out of this before you really have to stick your nose to your skin to smell it. And that is just not enough time for me. I want to smell this scent in particular all day long because it is so good. Now, if you like a sweet scent and you like those notes that I just, talked about, and you love a skin scent, because I know there is a huge demographic for skin scents. Like, I know that. It's just not me, but man, this smells so good. So good. I also want to try Lipstick Fever from Juliette Has a Gun. So even though I know it's probably not going to last that long, but if you've tried that, let me know. Y'all, this one is, so good. But because it doesn't last, I don't think I'm going to end up getting a full size of it. If they could make that same exact scent to last even just 3 hours, I would take it and I would reapply it all day long because it is so good. Now let's talk about Amouage. I haven't talked much about Amouage on my channel so far. That may change. This one is Dia Woman by Amouage. This is a floral, fresh, aldehydic, powdery perfume, which, if you don't know, I love aldehydes. Love aldehydes in a perfume. Again, I know that is a very personal preference, but I am of the camp that really enjoys an aldehydic scent. This one has aldehydes right off the top, which I can definitely tell. Violet leaf, sage, fig, tarragon, bergamot, and cyclamen. I mean, I smell the aldehydes, a little bit of the sage. I don't really smell the fig, maybe a little bit of the tarragon as well. In the middle, it's got peony, Turkish rose, orris root, orange blossom, and peach blossom. And then at the base, it's got musk, heliotrope, sandalwood, incense, cedar, vanilla, and gaiac wood. Lots of notes going on here, lots going on here. However, I don't feel like it's a mess. Some perfumes I smell that have so many notes and I'm like, you gotta pick something. Like it feels like it's all over the place. I don't feel like that with this. I feel like this is blended really well. It's really smooth, and there is something about this. This is going in the possible full-size pile because there is something about this that really triggers my olfactory sense and sends me back to my grandma, my dad's mom. And it's not because it smells like a grandma. It's something about it that just reminds me of her. Like, it didn't smell like, this is not what she smelled like. Something must have, though, because it just takes me back to being with good old Eulela. That's her name. And I miss her so much. Oh, I love it so much. It is, out of all the perfumes in my collection, and honestly, out of all the ones that I have sampled, the most soapy perfume. And I've heard people describe perfumes as soapy before, and I'm like, I don't really know what that means because I had never smelled one that I would describe as soapy. This one I would. Floral, soapy, and aldehydic. Oh, but it's good. And it's decent longevity. I would say 4 to 5 hours. I really like this one. It's going in that possible pile. We've got 2 more, and they are from the same house, which is Vilhelm Perfumerie. And this first one is called 125th and Bloom. Cute little yellow tops for those because they have very cute bottles. I really like their bottles. I have quite a few other samples from Vilhelm that I love. I love Mango Skin. Haven't purchased the full size yet, but it is definitely on my list. Now this one is part of the Jazz collection, and it says it's to capture the feeling and essence of Harlem, a raw, deep place with a supplement of soul, like visiting a jazz club. This one is very masculine to me. It has angelica seeds and saffron on the opening. I don't smell a ton of angelica. I love angelica as a note. I don't really get that. The middle is violet and rose, and the base is ebony woods and leather. And honestly, I get the base notes right off the bat. I get that leather and woody type notes, which I like those notes as a whole. However, in this one, they're a little too strong, and it's just not my favorite. I can definitely see people who would like this, and to me, this is definitely a cold weather scent. I would not be able to pull this off in the heat. I think it would just be way too much. As it dries down, it's better, and I find that to be the case with a few of the Vilhelm perfumes that I have tried, where I love the dry down, but I don't quite know if I want to go through the top and the middle to get there. I do know that there's going to be a lot of people that like this. It's just not my favorite. Now, the next one and the last one we're going to talk about is the third one that's going to go in the which one do I want a full size of pile. And this one is also by Vilhelm, and it's called Moon Carnival. Oh, y'all, this one is good. Let's see, this is part of the Flower collection, and this says, a lover's carnival on the moon. Feelings worth reaching to the moon and back. I love this. His love was a dancer whose golden skin held the scent of passion, who loved tuberose more than any other flower. So he traveled the world in search of all the tuberose to fill the moon. For 7 days and 7 nights, the moon scattered this enchanting scent. I really get tuberose. Now, this is fairly similar. In fact, I was texting with Abby about it, and she asked me if it was similar to the BDK Tuberose Imperial, which I also love. And so I sprayed both of them and asked Chad. And he was like, you know, they don't smell exactly alike, but they are fairly similar. And I will say that. They are fairly similar. There's something a little bit different about this one. Enough for me to want the full size. Maybe that's just because I'm crazy. But oh, it's so good. Oh my goodness, it's so good. This one and Mango Skin are my top favorites out of all the ones that I've smelled from Vilhelm. And I want both of them in my collection. So I am trying to decide between Moon Carnival, Dia Woman by Amouage, and Latin Lover by Carner, Barcelona. So I don't yet know which one I'm going to get. I am going to get one of them at least. But my question to you is, have you smelled any of these? And what are your thoughts on which one I should get? I love sampling. I hope that was fun to y'all. I have 6 perfumes here that I'm going to show you real quick that are available also from Twisted Lily, because you do get 10% off using my code Mandy10. And 10% on some of these perfumes is a little chunk of money. So definitely take advantage of that. It is an affiliate code. I do get credit for it, so I really appreciate it if you choose to use it. Real quick, I have a couple of Mancera perfumes that are available. The first is Red Tobacco. I'm not going to go over these too much because I do have an entire Mancera video where I talk about all of my Mancera fragrances, which ones I like the most, the differences, the notes, all of that jazz. So this is Red Tobacco. This is the smaller bottle. And then Velvet Vanilla, which, spoiler alert, is one of my very favorite Manceras. This is one that does have an Angelica note in it, and it smells so fabulous. So both of these from Mancera, as well as many other Mancera options, are available at Twisted Lily. These two I purchased from Twisted Lily, and they are both from Maison Francis Kurkdjian. Probably said that wrong, but that's okay. This one is Gentle Fluidity Gold. Oh, it's so good. I think I'm gonna have this be my scent of the day. This is a very smooth vanilla. There's something else to it. It's not a sweet vanilla. It's just a very smooth, gorgeous vanilla. And then Oud Satin Mood, which I haven't talked too much about because this to me is a fall and winter fragrance, but you better believe you're gonna be hearing a ton about it come those seasons because this is so good. So I got both of these from Twisted Lily. And I know Baccarat Rouge is like a fan favorite of everyone, so you can definitely get that as well. The X-Straight version, all that good stuff for 10% off. This one I talked about in one of my favorites videos, I believe. And I also got this one from Twisted Lily, and this is the Comptoir Sud Pacifique. And this is Vanilla Banana. Banane, but it's Vanilla Banana. And this is the one that I talked about. Smells to me just like a banana runt, which is oh so good. Some people may not want to smell like a piece of candy, but I'm totally okay with it. I love this. This is an eau de toilette, so it is not going to stay on the skin for long. I was very aware of that when I purchased it because I had sampled some from Twisted Lily beforehand. I did not care because this scent is so fabulous. And then finally, the Carner Barcelona scent that I had talked about. And quite honestly, I believe this is going to get a video of its own come fall because it is so good. And it is Rima 11. Rima XI. That's 11, right? Y'all, math was not my strong suit and Roman numerals were definitely not my strong suit. But this is the Eau Parfum. It is, if you like a spicy perfume, get this. This is the best spiced perfume I have ever smelled. The lasting power is amazing. The scent is, I just can't get enough of this. It's way up there in like my top favorite scents of all time. So definitely one to check out from Carner, Barcelona. Tardis is another one that's really popular. Again, I've tried quite a few from that line and there hasn't been one that I don't like. So hopefully you enjoyed this video and got some good ideas. Definitely give me your recommendations based on my top 3. If you have smelled any of them or if you own any of them, let me know, help me out. I need to determine which one to get. And it's always easier to get the help of other fragrance lovers out there. So hopefully you enjoyed this. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure and like and subscribe before you leave so you don't miss out on any future videos. I am gonna try to start putting out more than one a week, and I don't want you to miss any of them. So I hope you're all staying happy, healthy, safe, and sane, and that most of all, you go out and have a very blessed day.